Hello and welcome, dear viewers, for another session with your teacher, Teacher Alan. And for this lesson, we are doing episode 18 of our IELTS preparation. So let us wait for the students. Hopefully they will join soon, or sooner rather than later. And then we will begin. Hello, Ivan.
Alan, good evening.
Good evening to you. How's it going?
It's going fast.
Fast! What did you get up to? How was your day?
Day was good. Today my father had a day off, and we tried time as much as we can, and we to today the weather was down.
You were cutting out a little bit. I didn't catch everything you said, but as far as I understood, you were running with your dad.
Yeah. Yes. For biking trip.
Oh, I see.
And the weather was really awesome today. It's not really common for this time, and probably it's the last time when we can do this.
Yeah, it's very strange. Even here in the UK, or at least in my part of the UK, it was a sunny day, and I was on the way home from work, and I realized, oh, I was supposed to go to the gym, but I thought, I'm gonna go for coffee with my wife and my son, see if I can take him out. So by the time I got home, it was getting cloudy. I was like, no. And but anyways, I was too lazy to go to the gym today, and I just said, look, let's go have coffee together. So yeah,
So
and even though it's supposed to be rainy.
Did you go
Sorry?
out? Did you go out with your family? Didn't you?
Yeah, I went out for a little bit, just for an hour, to the city center. Had nice coffee, and I checked out some phone stores, some phone shops in the city, and yeah, that's about it. Yeah, and then I went straight back home, ate something, and here I am.
Do you want to buy a new phone?
Yeah, I'm dying to get a new phone. I've had my current phone for about 2.5 years, and it's, being a kind of a geek when it comes to smartphones and technology. I usually, yeah, gadgets. I usually update my phone the latest every second year. But yeah, I'm after the Galaxy Note 4, you see, and it's out of stock everywhere. So I'll have to wait for them to get it in again. So I'm keeping my eyes open and to see which shop has it. Yeah. Hello, Julia. Julia, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi. I think you're having connection problems, right? Yeah, we can't hear you, Julia. I think your connection must be really weak. Julia, try to restart your modem or
Okay.
your router, and
Okay.
maybe also your computer as well. That usually does the trick. That might help your connection. Hmm. Yeah.
At the end, it was a good connection with you, Yulia, wasn't it?
When? You mean?
10 seconds ago, I could hear her really good.
Really? I heard a little bit, but I didn't hear everything.
Okay.
Maybe it's a glitch. Hopefully it'll improve itself. Hello, Yulia. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. You
Oh,
hear
good.
you?
Yeah, you're very clear now. It's a lot smoother. Okay, we can hear you as well. How's it going, Yulia? How was your day?
My day was very nice, thank you.
Mm-hmm. What did you do? Did you do anything exciting, or just a normal?
Yes, we exciting trip.
You had an exciting trip.
Yes, we rode by bus to fashion cafe on the other. It was very far away from my home. It was in my town, but very far away. It was just a trip, and it was very exciting.
Nice. Is it cold? Was it cold today?
No, it was very cold in the morning, but now it is about 10 degrees plus 10 degrees. It is warm, I think. I even didn't put off my hat.
Oh yeah. Well, you said you lived close to Moscow, right? You're not too far from Moscow.
Yes, my city is very big. It's over 2 million of people living in that. But it is not of a little town near the Moscow. It is a big town, but it is not far away from Moscow.
Oh, so it's a city, I see, but it's not far away from Moscow.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good.
It's like 3 hours by car.
Ah, 3-hour drive. Okay.
No, I think that it is about 4 hours by the train to Moscow or from my city. It's called Nizhny Novgorod. Didn't you hear about it?
Maybe yes. Yes. I
Oh, Ivan's got a bad connection. I think it's better if he can restart his modem. All right, Julia, for today, or for this hour, this lesson, we are doing IELTS preparation. Have you done this before with me? I don't think you have. Last week.
Yes, I have.
Okay, let's have a look. I'm gonna screen share. So basically, we watch a 10-minute video. Yeah. So you've done this before? Oh, good.
No,
excellent.
but
Maybe
I am ready.
Excellent. Because I do two different types of IELTS preparation. Yeah, one is specifically for speaking, and this one is more general. Yeah, it teaches us more about the grammar of certain things, and yeah, IELTS preparation. So it prepares us for IELTS. Welcome back, Ivan. I think your connection wasn't very strong.
No, I unintentionally closed the tab.
Oh, I see. Because you were talking and then all of a sudden you disappeared. Okay, well, welcome back. Good to have you back. So we are gonna start now. We have another viewer in the lobby watching us, and so I hope that no other students will be late because they need to really watch this video in order to understand the whole lesson. Okay, so all right, so 10 minutes. Write down the important information, keywords, because I will ask you to summarize the video in your own words. Okay, so it'd be good if you can write down the keywords, or even type it on a Word document, whatever you prefer. So here we go, and please mute your microphones so there is no background noise. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Margot Politis. Welcome to Study English IELTS Preparation. Today we'll practice using hyphens in words and talk about showing contrast using the words despite, although and but. But first we visit Outback Australia and an isolated place called Maree. We'll see how the popularity of four-wheel drive cars has meant that a lot more people are travelling through the Outback. And now they're even building luxury accommodation there.
685 kilometres north of Adelaide on the Oodnadatta track is Maree. When the Old Ghan Railway closed in the 1980s, it just about vanished off the map. But despite the isolation and the population dwindling to just 80, an out-of-towner is now making $1 million investment. Condition of moving demand. Robin Taylor bought the 120-year-old pub 3 years ago and is about to build a 2-storey guest house next door. As well as a huge function room, it will have 14 luxury ensuite apartments and is costing $1.5 million.
Say it quickly, it's not too bad.
The driving force behind the boom is four-wheel drives.
Sometimes we join 2 or more words together to function as a single word or concept. We call these compound words. An example is father-in-law. Compound words can function as nouns, like father-in-law, or they can be adjectives. Here's a clip about the isolated town Maree. See if you can spot the compound words.
But despite the isolation and the population dwindling to just 80, an out-of-towner is now making $1 million investment.
She says out-of-towner and $1 million investment. Here, out-of-towner functions as a noun, a person who is from out of town. When writing compound words, we use hyphens. In the phrase $1 million investment, the compound $1 million functions as an adjective. It means that the investment will cost $1 million. When you write $1 million, the word dollars is a noun. The S is needed to show a plural number. In English, adjectives don't show number, so the S drops from dollar. We just say $1 million investment, not $1 million investment. When the phrase $1 million becomes an adjective, it needs to have a hyphen added. $1 million, $1 million investment. $1 million with a hyphen is a compound word. Let's listen for another example.
Robin Taylor bought the 120-year-old pub 3 years ago and is about to build a 2-storey guest house next door.
She talks about the 120-year-old pub. The pub is 120 years old. Notice that the phrase doesn't use hyphens, and years has an S. But when we turn it into a phrase, it becomes a 120-year-old pub with hyphens and with the S gone. She also refers to a 2-storey guest house. The guest house has 2 stories. It's a 2-storey guest house. Let's listen to a description of the guest house.
As well as a huge function room, it will have 14 luxury ensuite apartments and is costing $1.5 million.
She says the guest house will have 14 luxury ensuite apartments and is costing $1.5 million. We don't use any hyphens with these groups of words because they don't make up a compound concept. Apartments is the noun and 14, luxury and ensuite are the qualifiers. This is a noun phrase. We could rewrite this information to use hyphens. We could form a single concept from $1.5 million. The guest house will have 14 luxury $1.5 million ensuite apartments. Then the physical description would be a single concept. We would join $1.5 million with hyphens. It's important to remember that compound adjectives, like all adjectives, cannot have a plural form. This is important when describing complex data, like in task 1 of the IELTS writing test. The town in today's story is called Maree. Maree is a very isolated town, but something unexpected is happening there. Although the town is very small and far from the city, someone is prepared to invest a lot of money there.
But despite the isolation and the population dwindling to just 80, an out-of-towner is now making $1 million investment.
Despite the isolation and the population dwindling to 80, an out-of-towner is making $1 million investment. She uses the preposition despite. She could also have used the word although. Despite and although have the same meaning. They show contrast with unexpected results. Let's try an exercise. Here are 2 sentences. Margaret's marks were low. She managed to get into law school. How would you join these sentences together using but, despite, or although? Let's start with but. Margaret's marks were low, but she managed to get into law school. Now let's use although. Although Margaret's marks were low, she managed to get into law school. We can also join the sentences using despite. Despite having low marks, Margaret managed to get into law school. Despite can be followed by a noun. We can say, despite the isolation, or despite the fact I had a cold. Or it can be followed by a verb. When it's followed by a verb, we use the participle form. For example, despite being isolated, or despite having a cold. Let's finish with one final exercise. Take a look at these 2 sentences. There was noise outside all night. I managed to sleep. How would you join them using the word but? There was noise outside all night, but I managed to sleep. Now look at the 2 sentences again. How would you join them using although? Although there was noise outside all night, I managed to sleep. And finally, how would you join these 2 sentences using despite? Despite the noise outside all night, I managed to sleep. Using the words despite and although effectively will help improve your spoken and written English. And that's all for Study English today. Let's have a look back at the things we've talked about. First, we looked at using hyphens to create compound words. Then we looked at using but, although, and despite to join sentences. And despite the fact that Study English has finished for today, you can continue to practice your English skills. Just visit our website for more information and IELTS tips. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Okie dokie. All right, so there you have it. I hope that was loud and clear. Julia, I noticed you got disconnected for a little while. I hope you didn't miss too much of the video.
Yes, I also hope that I didn't miss too much.
No, yeah, I think you are right. You weren't gone for too long. It was only maybe half a minute or so. So could you tell us, Julia, what did you understand by this video, or could you summarize it in your own words?
I understood the cases in which we need to use hyphens. That's like it is a 120-year-old pup. We need a hyphen there.
Hyphen.
Hyphen,
yeah? Hyphen.
And in the sentence, this pup is 120-year-old, we don't need a hyphen. We also need a hyphen in situations like conversations for two people. And hyphen is used also in cases when we need to explain some man, like brave-hearted men.
Brave-hearted, okay.
I think that they are all general rules from this video.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, that's
Nothing
very good.
else?
Excellent. Thank you very much, Julia. Okay, Ivan, let's hear your summary.
Well, in the first half of the video, the girl told us about compound words. How can we create them in English? To do that, we need to use hyphens. Compound words could be either nouns, like father-in-law, for example, either adjectives, like 120-year-old. And as you see, when we create an adjective, we don't add s at the end of the word.
Very good.
We don't say 120 years old. And the second part of the video was about the difference between despite and although. Although these words are all has the similar meaning, when we use despite, we can after despite we have to put the noun or the gerund.
Good.
Despite the isolation or despite having a cold. And when we use although, we can put the whole phrase. Although I have called, so we can put the whole sentence, and it is the difference in these two words, but the meaning is the same. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, very good, excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, guys. So that was that. So let me close this and open. Oh, Ivan got disconnected again. All right, so here are the study notes.
Yes.
We'll just wait a second or two until Ivan comes back. Okay. All right, so both of you were, yeah, pretty much on the right track. You were correct. And the first part, yeah, welcome back, Ivan. First part was about hyphens, how to use them, and so on, and what happens. Oh, Andre. Hello, Andre. Welcome.
Hello, guys.
Nice of you to join us. Sorry?
I have troubles with schedule. I always miss your.
Oh no, I was wondering where is Andre, one of my regular students, especially when it comes to IELTS. But it's good you joined. You just missed the video, unfortunately, but you can watch it, you know, after our lessons in your own in your spare time, just to get more details from it. So we are talking about. Sorry.
Alan, while I don't forget, can you pronounce, please, these two words? I want to understand the difference in pronunciation. If you
despite and though.
No.
This, the.
Which I.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see. Ah, good. Yes, in your chat. This and these. This. These. Okay, so
long e.
Definitely, it's prolonged, and the ending, the consonant is actually a z or z sound. These, not these. Yeah. So there are two main points that you need to remember between these two words. The vowel, which is prolonged. Okay, one is shorter, one is longer, and the consonant, the last sound, which is the either S or Z sound. Yeah, so this and these. Yeah, it's good you asked that, because many students get these mixed up and they have trouble pronouncing them.
Thanks.
No problems. Okay. So, expressing contrast and concession. Very important. So whether it is the IELTS writing or speaking test, it may be necessary to contrast ideas, concede a point, or even show an unexpected result. When expressing an opinion, you might say, though everybody raved about this latest film, about his latest film, I was terribly disappointed with his performance. So, though everybody. Or is there another way you can say this sentence? Although. Another one?
Everybody raved about his latest film, but I was terribly disappointed with his performance.
Yeah, good.
And I know the other one, but it's only possible in speaking. Everybody raved about his latest film. I was terribly disappointed with his performance, though.
Okay, good. And you could say, even though. Yeah, even though everybody raved about his latest film, I was terribly disappointed with his performance. Okay, so let's keep going. When contrasting data, you might write, despite both models of the plasma television being competitively priced, they differ substantially in quality. Both these examples contrast ideas using though and despite, respectively, but in each circumstance there is also an element of surprise or an unexpected point of view being conveyed. All right, you following? Okay. So these are two of several ways of expressing contrast and concession in English. All right, so the language of contrast and concession. There are various ways of contrasting information and expressing a concession or an unexpected result. So let's look at these here now. Conjunctions, we have although, though, while, whereas. Prepositions, in spite of, or despite. And then adverbs or transition signals. However, nevertheless, anyhow, on the other hand, and still. Have you heard about most of these? I think you have, right?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Let's keep going then. Now, structure of contrast and concession sentences. The two example sentences below are used to contrast sentences to express contrast and concession using a conjunction, preposition, and adverb or transition signal. So, for example, the fires decimated hectares of bushland. There was a minimal loss of wildfire. Okay, so although the fires decimated hectares of bushland, there was a minimal loss of wildfire. Okay, that's when you use the conjunction. So, although, and then the subject, the fires, and the verb is decimated. As a preposition, we would say, despite the decimation of bushland, there was a minimal loss of wildfire. Despite that, there was a minimal loss of wildfire. Yeah, that refers to, you know, the decimation of bushland. Yeah. And despite decimating hectares of bushland, there was a minimal loss of wildfire. Yeah, like Ivan mentioned, there are two types, two ways of, you know, doing this. So after despite, we have either the noun, pronoun, you know, this, that, what, and the ing form. Okay, adjourned. Yeah, very good. Then adverb or transition signal. However, the fires decimated hectares of bushland. Full stop. However, there was a minimal loss of wildfire. And yeah, so those are the three examples that we could use. Now, okay, let's do this. Summary of grammatical forms expressing contrast and concession. This table below summarizes the uses of the three grammatical forms for expressing contrast and concession. So let's see. Conjunctions. Andre, could you read them, please? And then Rini.
Although, though, informal, even though, while, whereas, formal, whilst, very formal.
Good.
Meaning, expressing a contrast or a difference. Note, subject plus verb, follow the conjunction. A clause starting with a conjunction can be put either before or after the main clause. Clauses with conjunction are separated with a comma. Examples.
Okay.
Examples. Although Sydney is the biggest city in Australia, it isn't the capital.
Good.
It's situation with comma. Yes.
Yep. Excellent.
While I'm studying structural engineering, my sister is working in the IT industry.
Good.
The first study examined the causes of stress, whereas the second provided solutions. Oh, the first study.
Excellent.
Understand what about? Whereas the second provided solution. Oh, I'm not to understand what they are talking about.
What, in the last example, the last sentence?
Yeah.
Okay. Ivan or Julia, do you understand the last sentence? Yeah.
I think that the first study examined the cause of stress. It is whereas is a form of the word there. I think.
No, I mean the meaning of sentence, not the word.
Or the sentence.
Yeah. Whole sentence.
I think that the first study was not able to explain what has happened, whereas the second explained it. Why?
Okay, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Far I have understood.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So it's like in contrast. Yeah. The first study examined the causes of stress, why stress happens, whereas, or in contrast, the second study provided the solutions to the stress. Okay. Okay. So let's keep going. All right, Julia, could you read the next, please?
Yes. Conjunctions continued. Though informal, even though various formal, whilst very formal.
Whilst.
Expression of whilst. Very formal. Meaning expressing a position of an unexpected result. In these circumstances, one idea opposes the idea in the other clause, which usually expresses an expected result. Examples. Although the hurricane left a devastating trail of destruction, there were few causalities. While drugs were tested extensively before being released, no one could have predicted the terrible side effects. Prepositions. In spite of the fact that, despite the fact that, notwithstanding, very formal. Meaning, expressing a contrast of a difference, expressing an expected result, concession. Notice, these prepositions are followed by noun, pronoun, this, that, what, etc., or ing form. They cannot be used before finite clause, despite the cold weather. Though they carry the same meaning as although and though, these structures are more formal. When introduced in a clause with these prepositions, then the fact that needs to be added. Note that despite is written without of, compared with in spite of. Examples. Despite a responsible job is not commensurate with the position. In spite of the fact that more police are patrolling the streets, the crime rate continues to climb. Despite their religious differences, Jill and Michael get along splendidly. Notwithstanding her fame, Margaret remained very humble.
Very good. All right, thank you. So there was quite a lot to take in. There's let me just go through some of the vocabulary here and the pronunciation. So this is religious differences, yeah? Despite their religious differences, Jill and Michael get along splendidly. Yeah, notwithstanding. Have you ever heard of this preposition? Notwithstanding.
No, I have never heard.
Okay, it's very formal. You probably won't hear it much in spoken English. Yeah, so these are the ones. What about in spite of the fact that? In spite of the fact that more police are patrolling the streets, the crime rate continues to climb.
I have heard about.
Yeah, you have. So the fact of the matter is here that more police are patrolling the streets. Yeah. Still, the crime rate continues to climb. All right. Okay, let's do the last one. If you have a question, please, interrupt me, and we'll discuss it. All right, Ivan, you can do the last bit.
Adverbs, transition signals. However, nevertheless, nonetheless, anyhow, anyway, in any case, on the other hand, on the contrary, ill, all the same, mind you. Expressing a contrast or a difference, expressing an unexpected result. Commas are used to separate these words and phrases from the sentence or within a sentence, often used as the beginning of a sentence. Examples: the new procedures which have been implemented are not problem-free. They have, however, improved the efficiency of the department. Petrol prices are rising at an alarming rate. Nonetheless, people are still driving their cars short distances. The tickets to the closing ceremony of the Olympics are really not within my price range. Still, it would be worthwhile going.
Okay, excellent, well read. So you can see these adverbs, they serve as a transition. Yeah. So petrol prices are rising at an alarming rate. Nonetheless, people are still driving their cars short distances. So it's like a transition, it's moving on. Okay, so that's it pretty much when it comes to these. So you have more details about these here now. Are there any questions before we move on to the activities? Hopefully when we do the activities, it'll be a bit easier for you to understand or make more sense. Usually, it's difficult to understand everything at once. Okay, so let's have a look. All right, the first activity is right here. Okay, so what are we doing here? Practice and consolidate your learning by completing our activities. Remember, yeah, you can refer to the notes. So rewrite the following sentences using the word or words in the brackets. You may need to create new sentences and change punctuation. All right, so number one, here is the word in the brackets. Use that to change the sentence. Andre, would you like to begin?
Okay. Although it was a hot day, Jill decided to go for a jog. Despite the hot day, Jill decided to go for a jog.
Excellent. Is there another way we can rewrite this?
Despite a hot day, it's a simplification of the first part of sentence. Or we can say we can change second part with the first. For example, Jill decided to go for a jog, comma, or not comma, despite a hot day. despite it that it was a hot day.
Actually, I'm after something else. Despite would still be the first word of the sentence. So what you've given me at the beginning, you said despite and then the noun. Yeah, despite the hot day or a hot day.
Yes, I understand. I just think that it's possible to vary the structure of the sentence, maybe. Of course, despite should be the beginning, usually used as beginning of the sentence.
Okay, so what else could follow despite? So here you've given me a correct answer, which we have the noun, a hot day.
Yes, despite despite a hot day.
Does anyone know?
Despite being hot.
Ah, that's the one.
Sorry, what?
A gerund. Despite?
Despite being a hot day.
Excellent, that's it. Despite being a hot day, comma, Jill decided to go for a jog. Yeah, so those are the two options that we have.
But let's clarify one moment. In the original, it was a hot day. It's mean the past. But when we use despite in gerund, despite being, it means that it means the present. How we can fix it?
You know what? Because the second clause here talks about the past. So we're still talking about the past because of this verb. So we're talking about the hot day in the past. So
do you mean that being has no reference to the past, but just a term?
Yeah.
Like idea of.
Yes, exactly. You got it right on the spot. So basically, we're not talking about time in the first clause when you say despite being.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is what's referring to the time, past tense. Okay, good question. All right, let's move on to the second one. Julia.
John apologized for his indiscretion. I doubt it was sincere. However, John apologized for his indiscretion. However, I doubt it was sincere.
Yeah, very good. So everything stays the same.
Yes, but there is a comma.
Exactly.
After however.
Yeah, very good. So John apologized for his indiscretion. Full stop. However, comma, I doubt it was sincere.
Yes, that's right.
Very good. Okay, Ivan, next one. Ivan, are you there? I think you're frozen.
Let me check. Still, I know I may not be fully qualified for the job. It's worth a try.
No, you will not. Yeah, still doesn't come at the beginning here.
Okay. I know I may not be fully qualified for the job.
Still, it's worth a try. Yeah, that's better.
That's right. It seems.
Yeah, but does the sentence stay the same? And you just replace but with still, and that's it?
I think it's better after the job to stop the sentence.
Yes, very good. Make a full stop. The punctuation has to change. Yeah, so full stop, and then still comma, it's worth a try. Yes, very good. Okay, number 4, Andre.
Okay, though it was Harrods' huge mid-year sale, hardly any of the white goods sold. We can say, in spite of Harrods' huge mid-year sale, hardly any of the white goods sold.
Yes, very good. Excellent. So in spite of comes at the beginning here, and you take out though. Yeah, so we don't have to say though.
And it was also, because in spite of Harrods' huge...
Yeah, sorry, that's right, yes. Though it was, yeah. In spite of Harrods' huge media sale. Excellent. All right, Julia, number 5.
Despite sitting through the... we didn't enjoy it, although... although we were sitting through the entire movie, we didn't enjoy it.
Although we
were sitting...
Now, what?
I think that it will be better to say past perfect continuous, like we had sitting through the present perfect continuous. Although we had through the entire movie, we didn't enjoy it.
Okay, let me move or turn your attention to the first one. Is this the one that Andre was asking about? Yes. Because this is pretty much the same case, isn't it? Only that we've changed. We're using although, and yeah, and here we had to use despite. So look at this sentence. What are we using
it's
here?
Very simple. I know there. Although we sat through the entire movie, we didn't enjoy it.
Excellent. That's exactly right. Yeah. So we don't need to complicate it, because what's the clue? The clue is in the second clause. What happens? It's past simple.
Yes.
Past simple, but in negative form. So if you want to use although, yeah, at the beginning, this gerund will change to the same as this. Yeah, sat.
Yes.
So the simple past.
Exactly. Well done.
You know, sometimes I make the easy things hard.
Yeah, don't complicate it. You just gotta, have a look at the other examples, and it's very simple. All right, let's keep moving. Number 6, Ivan.
Despite the fact that the critics downgraded the restaurant in their review, the food remains popular with the public.
Very good. Yeah.
We just replace.
Even though. Very good. Despite the fact that the critics downgraded. Very good. Number 7, Andre.
One way of combating obesity is having children adhere to a strict diet. Having them participate in team sports may be more effective. Just a second. One way of combating obesity is having children adhere to a strict diet. On the other hand, participating in team sport may be more effective.
Okay, so there is a full stop. So the first sentence doesn't change, yeah? It stays the same. Okay, we got that figured out. Then we begin the second one with on the other hand.
Yes.
Comma.
Participating in team sports may be more effective. Structurally, it's correct, as I see.
Yeah, but you're changing. we need to don't forget who we're talking about, the children. So you have to use them. And
okay, we can change in such way. On the other hand, their participation in team sports may be more effective.
Okay, yes, I agree with that. Or you can just leave it like this, like how it is. Don't change it. All you have to do is add, on the other hand, comma, having them participate in team sports may be more effective. But yours is also correct.
Of course we can do that, but I would change more deeply.
No problems. Yeah, that's fine. As long as it's still has the same meaning, it's fine. Okay, 8th, Julia.
Okay. Despite the market fluctuations, the shares were still popular with investors, notwithstanding the market fluctuations, the shares were still popular with investors.
Yeah, good. So what we're doing? Replacing notwithstanding with despite.
Yeah, we need to only replace the word.
Exactly, yeah. Notwithstanding the market fluctuations, the shares will still we're still popular, yeah, with investors. Very good. All right, Ivan, number 9.
I know I shouldn't have any more chocolate. I know I shouldn't have any more chocolates because of my diet. Stop.
Full stop.
Full stop. Mind you, comma, the indulgence is worth it.
Very good. Mind you, the indulgence is worth it. Yeah. Excellent. Very good. So we break up this sentence by putting a full stop here, and we take out but and just replace it with mind you. Instead of comma, of course, after mind you. Mind you, the indulgence is worth it. Okay, and the last one, Andrei.
I want to clarify for myself. Mind you, it's the same. Keep in mind, yes, or it's not the same meaning.
No, not really. Not really.
Not really. Okay. Philip was unsuccessful in securing the top job, even though his qualifications were excellent. Okay. Philip was unsuccessful in securing the top job, despite his qualifications were excellent.
Despite his excellent qualifications.
Okay, yes, I agree. Despite his excellent qualification, yes.
Good. Or despite gerund. What gerund would you use here?
Being excellent qualified, maybe.
Being excellently qualified. Okay, yeah. Or what other gerund can we use?
Despite.
Excellent qualifications will be the last words. So which gerund will we use? Despite?
Having.
Yeah, having.
Yes.
Because you have excellent qualifications. So despite having excellent qualifications. Very good. Well done. Well done. You've done really well. You can pat yourselves on the shoulder, because this isn't very easy. You know, this takes practice. And when you master this and you can alternate, you know, your speech in these ways, you're definitely in the right track of, you know, becoming very eloquent. when it comes to speaking and even writing. Okay, so there's one more activity here, which you can do in your spare time or as homework, and we can go through it the next time. I believe tomorrow we have another IELTS preparation lesson.
Okay, Alan, give me a link, please.
Yes. Okay, here is the link in the chat.
Thank you.
No problem. And also, if you would like the study notes, here is that link too.
Can you please give me also the link?
Yep.
I need.
Can you see it in
Thank
the
you.
chat? It's in the chat. Can you see it?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So the first link is the activity PDF, and the second, the study notes PDF. All right. Any other questions?
No questions. All's clear.
Lovely. I'm happy if you're happy. Okay, so I'm going to go and get the next class ready, and I shall see you there if you're free. All right. Have a good night.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Night too. See you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.